Joining us on the broadcast right now are these students, in fact, who have approached the Supreme Court now, who have knocked at the Supreme Court's door because they are quite disappointed with the way Center CBSE have handled this particular issue. Sukriti Gupta, who is a class 12 student, live with us. Rashmi, who is also class 12 student, who has given this particular petition to the Chief Justice of India, is live with us. Tanvi Dubey, advocate who approached the Chief Justice of India for these children, is with us, and Sia Tayal, who is student of class 10th, who had written a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is also joining us on the broadcast. Good afternoon to all of you. Sukriti Gupta, let me begin this with you. Firstly, you are a class 12 student. Can you explain to us, what is the state of mind that you are in right now, and what is it that you want from the government, from the courts?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon, Sukriti. Go ahead.
Ma'am, I would like to begin with, our agenda is not regarding exams. Now it's the matter of lives. We are not scaring from exams. Basically, during this, regarding this postponement and this, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, Sukriti, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, this pandemic and postponement has just badly impacted on the health of students. Due to this, students are under anxiety, stress, and hypocrisy and toxicity. Basically, to overcome these and all, they're just ending up their lives by committing suicides. And let me clear myself, we are not afraid of exams. Basically, the fear among us is if we go to centers for writing exams and we get exposed to COVID virus and we spread it to our family members, they'll be getting affected. So the basic concern is about regarding our family members. And moreover, doctors and scientists are continuously warning us that third wave is gonna come and it will be affecting children very badly. I would like to conclude with a question. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes. Yes, Sukriti, we can hear you.
I would like to put forth a question. If a child is COVID positive and he or she has lost both the parents, will he or she will be in a position to give exams? Will it be justified if we take exams for them?
Well, Sukriti, you're a very intelligent girl and you have raised some very, very pertinent questions, very important points, and the most important of them, of course, is of the students who've lost their parents because of coronavirus. Will those children be in a position to appear for these examinations or not? And that's a very important question that you've asked. I'm requesting you to stay on with us. Rashmi, who is a class 12 student, is also live with us right now. Rashmi, good afternoon. What made you write to the Chief Justice of India? Why do you think only the Supreme Court can help you all in this kind of situation?
Ma'am, basically, these students were constantly raising our voices through various media forms, like we were using Twitters and everything. But the government is constantly ignoring us. We are just trying to make them to reach this, that we are not scared of exams. It's not that. But the postponement and everything is just creating some sort of uncertainty in us. Basically, we want to pursue for our higher education.
Yes, so
many of us wants to go for...
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Those are important points you're raising, Sukriti. Yes. Stay on with us, Sukriti. Please stay on with us. Let me also, introduce other guests who are live with us. Rashmi, if you can tell us, a little bit about your state of mind right now and what prompted you to write to the Chief Justice of India to file a petition, for your examinations.
Ma'am, basically being a student, I just want to say currently I'm so much stressed about myself. And I know this mental state of...
Sukriti, 1 second. Sukriti, I will come to you in just a bit again. Rashmi, if you can hear me. Rashmi, am I audible to you?
Ma'am, I think there was name Sukriti Gupta. So I had an my opinion. I completely agree with her. While we have nations as the first concern, the thing that cannot be avoided is that comes the health.
Okay, Rashmi, unfortunately, there's some problem with your audio connection. We will try and sort it out and come back to you. Meanwhile, Sia, you are a class 10 student and you had written to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What is it that you want to tell our viewers today about the kind of uncertainty that class 12 students are seeing right now? And what did you say to Prime Minister Modi in that letter?
Ma'am, it was my second letter to our Honorable Prime Minister. I requested him to cancel the board exams for 12th grade, nationwide, because we can't leave this decision to each state individually. So, ma'am, we have a lot of questions. Who will take responsibility for the lives of students and their families? Who is going to, provide healthcare facilities if something is to happen during these exams? What about the black fungus and yellow fungus? There are so many talks of this pandemic getting so many new strains and, side effects. We've lost over 400 doctors in the second wave, and the third wave is still to come. And it's said that it will mainly affect children. And so many UK and US colleges, they have to, they're demanding mark sheets by August. So why don't we go for internal assessment? Why is a scientific decision not being made like the timely decision that was taken for class 10 board exams? Because, ma'am, the future of the students is extremely important, but where is the future without life?
Absolutely. Where is the future without life? So like last year, the lockdown was important because life was more important than livelihood. And this time, these students are asking, what is the future without a life? And they are quite worried about the health condition because of the way virus is spreading. Sia, those are very important points you've raised. Tanvi Dubey, the advocate who approached the Chief Justice of India for these children, is also live with us. Tanvi, can you explain to us what exactly is the appeal that's being made by these students? How many students have approached you, and what next in this case? Are we likely to see a hearing from the Supreme Court soon?
First of all, thank you for having me. Now, the thing is that we are talking about examinations not in any normal circumstance. We are talking about exams in the middle of a raging pandemic. As your question goes, there's a letter petition that has been moved before the Chief Justice seeking the suo motu cognizance of the Supreme Court in this situation. Since this situation is of a nature in which we have never seen such a crisis ever before, it's a medical catastrophe. So my question is, are we even in a position to have such kind of discussions? Are we in a position to even think about an offline examination? This is what has been majorly focused in the letter petition, which has been moved. Now, thing is that what is most glaring is that we are not talking about few students. We are talking about around 1.5 crore students throughout the country, which include CBSE, ICSE, state boards. And that 1.5 crore students will also lead to 7 to 8 crore student parents, various citizens, their grandparents. It's a homogeneous group. And in which we are absolutely not in I need not even go to the numbers. We are all aware of the unprecedented rise in the number of cases, in the number of deaths. So therefore, it has been prayed in the letter petition that an alternative mode of assessment is the need of the hour. Last year, when the numbers were, of course, not this high, in the Amit Batla judgment, this was a matter before the Supreme Court, CBSE introduced the revised guidelines. CBSE introduced an assessment scheme in which it was provided that the class 12th students, the assessment can be on the basis of A, past performance, and on B, on the basis of internal assessment. So why not this year? Of course, we need to ultimately focus on the national education policy. And this is the most crucial time when students are in absolute mental trauma. And of course, extraordinary times require extraordinary solutions.
Absolutely. And, the mental state is something that also, needs to be considered at this point in time, because this entire period of last 1.5 years when students had to be in their homes locked, in fact, it has been quite traumatic for the students, for parents, for everyone, for teachers as well. Tanvi Dubey, stay on with us. Now, Sukriti, Rashmi, Sia, you are the future of our country, bright minds. Rashmi, let me try and speak with you once again. What do you suggest? Like earlier, Sia was telling us, Sukriti was telling us that, we can't really leave this very important decision to states, because the kind of options that are being considered probably are not going to be feasible, because you people know the situation better. What is it that you want to tell the center right now? What should be really done in a scenario like this? Rashmi.
Am I audible to you? Am
Yes,
I audible
Rashmi,
to you?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, just to be clear, 2 points. First of all, I am Sukriti. I think there was a name confusion. So, 2 things. First of all, the reason that the government is holding the exams is because they do not have a so-called alternative. However, what I think is that there are many alternatives in sight if the government does pay attention to them. I myself wrote an 11-page proposal, which Advocate Mamta Sharma even put on her Twitter yesterday. It has gained a lot of traction, except the government has not paid attention to it. It focuses on the internal marks. Yes, it standardizes those marks. It takes into consideration everything from the grain, including reservations which are required at college level. So all I'm saying is, if the government does heed attention to all these matters, it is possible to come up with an alternative. And secondly, we talk about the stakeholders, the ministers. Who is the stakeholder in this matter? Those ministers who do not have to go and give the exams themselves, who do not have direct family members who would be affected by these exams, or us, our families, the people who have to actually go and undertake these exams in this pandemic situation. That is something that the government should take into consideration while claiming themselves as the stakeholders in this matter.
Okay, I think, yes, that's important, because the stakeholders need to be consulted. Now, let me also go across to Sia. Sia, can you tell us a little bit about how the condition has really been for you? It's been over a year now. You have been locked in the house. Most of you, I'm sure, would not even have been able to study, properly, as was the case before the pandemic came. So can you just describe for us the kind of impact this pandemic had on your life?
Ma'am, most of the students who are going to give these board exams are teenagers, and we haven't been able to get the general moral support that we do during hard times, especially during exam times, because again, we're being super responsible, we're not going out. In PM Modi's last speech, he said that, he urges everyone to stay at home, and everyone has been following those guidelines. So we request him to, stand by his own statement and, take a good decision so that we have to, continue maintaining those guidelines. According to Article 21, protection of life and personal liberty. No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty. So, ma'am, where is that liberty? Why are we not taking a decision? When it comes to the matter of our lives, we should have a say.
Absolutely. I think you've made an important point again. Thank you very much, Sukriti, Rashmi, Sia and Tanvi Dubey for joining us. We hope Centre takes a decision soon in this very, very important issue. Meanwhile,